This is the story, the fantastically true story of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives. Average citizen, high-level member of the Communist Party, and counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. You're about to see the Communist Party's complete disregard for human rights as they effect their plan of sabotage.
And Mr. Monroe, I can't tell you how grateful I am to you. And I'll prove it when I send you a check.
No extra compensation necessary, Mr. Randall. Here at the rest home, we have a job to do. And we enjoy doing it successfully.
Then the headaches are really better?
Better, they've gone. And young lady, you are eligible for considerable gratitude on my part. And I may say that you might have even a little raise in your salary.
Oh, I'm sure I didn't do anything to deserve a raise, Mr. Randall.
I hold you responsible for bringing me here to Mr. Monroe and this rest home.
I have my car outside. I'll drive you back to the office.
Finished, sir?
Yes, thank you. Well, Randall's well again and back in his office.
Good.
We'll wait another week.
We can't wait a week. You must return at once. I'll contact you later.
Hello?
Philbrick,
Yes?
some of the boys from Danville are having lunch at Mario's. Care to join us?
I'd like to. What time?
Right away.
Get going, Philbrick. When your communist contact mentions the boys from Danville, it means you're on a top priority job. Better call the FBI. Just let them know something's in the wind.
Hello. Henderson speaking.
Hi. I'm going to have to cancel our luncheon today. Some old friends of mine dropped in town.
I'm sorry. Perhaps we can make it some other time.
Yeah, I'll know more after lunch about my plans for tomorrow. I'll get in touch with you. Right.
Change your mind about eating. There's a green sedan parked around the corner. Get in it and go with the driver. Don't worry about being followed. We'll take care of that.
Where am I going?
You'll find out when you get there.
I was told to ask for Monroe.
I'm Monroe. Who are you?
I'm one of the boys from Danville. My name's Herb.
Come in. Follow me, Carmen. This will be your room temporarily. Here, put these on and make yourself comfortable.
Well, wait a minute. At the moment, I'm not sleepy yet.
My orders are to give you the pajamas. Your orders are to put them on.
Now, look here. I've got a whole raft of appointments today, and tonight my wife and I have a dinner engagement.
If the pajamas don't fit, comrade, just let me know and we'll try another pair.
The comrades must have something new up their sleeves. Whatever it is, it should make interesting copy for the FBI.
I'll bring you the important mail right away.
Thank you. And Miss Britton, will you please call a meeting of all department heads for 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock, yes, sir.
And hold back everything but most important calls.
Yes, Mr. Randall. Mr. Randall's office.
Miss Britton?
Yes.
I just heard from Aunt Mary. She'd like to see you later today.
Later? Today?
That's right. Today instead of next week. Understand?
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Yes, Marty. What's all this trouble about number 3? Yeah. When did it start? I see. What do you suggest? Yeah? Well, wait a minute. Can't you switch over the spools without cooling off the furnace? I think so, too. Might be worth a trial. Well, I don't want to close down one unit if we can help it. All right. National Supply Company. The address is on the letter. Gentlemen, our contract with you calls for a specific standard of material, which in view of the importance of our work must be maintained. Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I called Comrade Phyllis and gave her your instructions.
And?
Haven't heard from her yet.
Is Philbrick here?
Yeah.
What have you told him?
Nothing.
Did you take his clothes away from him?
Not yet.
Suppose you do that now, and then I'll talk to him.
All right, comrade.
Hey. What's the idea?
This rest home has a fine reputation, comrade. We just want to be sure nothing happens to your clothes or to you. Hello? Oh, yes, Miss Britton. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Of course we'll help him again. Yes, we'll have everything ready. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well,
Phyllis is on her way with him. It seems he has another splitting headache.
he has my sympathy. Let's have a talk with Philbrick.
What are you doing here?
I was looking for you. I don't mind your taking my clothes, but I'd like to have my cigarettes.
I'll get them.
Comrade, the basic thing to remember in this assignment is that you've been the victim of blinding headaches, but you found a method of getting rid of them.
Yeah?
We'll discuss the method later. Just bear in mind the thing to do is relax, ease the tension, and to decrease pressure.
Am I to tell this to some person?
Yes, there'll be another patient here shortly. Before you talk to him, you'll be given further instructions. It won't be necessary for you to remember any of the details of the conversation. We have a microphone in back of this picture that will record every word.
There's just one thing. I don't think it's wise for me just to drop out of sight. My wife, my secretary, will get curious. They'll start asking questions. Maybe I better call them.
We'll take care of that matter for you, comrade. We don't want anything to happen that will take your mind off of your present assignment.
It's just awful to see him suffer like this, Mr. Monroe.
When did this last attack start?
A little while ago. I was feeling fine. And then it started creeping up on me. Now I'm numb with pain.
Really, Mr. Randall, I think you should try another doctor.
Oh, they don't do me any good. And you help me. All I want to do is to stay here and rest.
But there's nothing we can do here for you that'll guarantee a permanent cure.
All I want now is relief. Relief from pain.
Of course, we'll abide by your wishes, Mr. Randall. But I want to go on record as saying you don't belong here.
Milton Randall. What's he doing here? Vice president of $1 million corporation, coming to a nest of communists.
Please let me stay.
There's another thing. These headaches that defy diagnosis can be very dangerous.
You mean, do you think I'm going to die?
Oh, I wouldn't say that, but what do you want?
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. You gave me my cigarettes, but I don't have a match. Do you happen to have one? Excuse me, sir. Aren't you Milton Randall?
Hey? What? It's Philbrick. Herb Philbrick.
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I was just going to ask you the same thing.
Here are your matches. Mr. Randall's very ill. Now, would you mind leaving us alone?
Oh, of course. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Randall. No wonder they took your clothes, Philbrick. Evidently, no one gets out of here until whatever they plan to do is done. You've got to find some way to get to the FBI. But how? How?
You sure you can't overhear us?
Absolutely sure.
You were selected for this assignment, comrade, for several reasons. First, because you're acquainted with Mr. Randall and are above suspicion. Second, you have the mental acuteness to grasp what we want you to do.
Yes, comrade?
This is a very simple operation. We administer a drug to Mr. Randall which causes him great pain. When he reaches the rest home, the pain stops because we stop giving him the drug.
He thinks he's coming here willingly. But actually, he's afraid to go anywhere else.
But this afternoon, he'll find that even the rest home can no longer help him. But he will find someone else who can.
Who?
You.
Me?
Exactly. You'll describe your symptoms, which are the same as his. And then you'll tell him how you found relief.
And how did I find relief?
By relieving the pressure on your brain. You found that when you talk things out, when you tell somebody else everything that's in your mind, the pressure's relieved, and therefore the pain stopped.
And the pain in his head will continue to tear him apart until he tells you everything that we want to know.
And what do we want to know?
Well, his company is shipping raw materials abroad. We want to know what these materials are, where they're being shipped, and in what quantities.
Well, couldn't his secretary find that out?
If I could, Conrad, we wouldn't go to all this trouble.
In addition, we want to know the ship or ships carrying the cargo. Is everything clear?
Yes, I think so.
Let's review it once more, just to be sure.
All right. I can appreciate what you're going through, Mr. Randall. I used to suffer from the same thing myself.
From those devastating headaches?
I thought they'd drive me insane.
Well, do you still... Hey, wait a minute. Why don't you play that black 9 on the red 10?
Oh, sure enough, thanks.
Do you still have those headaches?
No, thank you. I found a way to get rid of them.
Well, for heaven's sake, how?
I'm not going to tell you. It'd sound too silly.
Well, nothing you could say that would cure those headaches would sound silly.
Well, I found I was carrying too heavy a mental load.
So?
So I started repeating some of those things I was supposed to keep secret. And the first thing I knew, I was free as a bird.
I see what you mean. Are you having trouble right now?
No, indeed. That's why I'm here, to make sure I don't. I spend a day or two here every so often just to keep myself freshened up.
Well, you've certainly given me something to think about. Well, I'm feeling pretty free myself right now. I think I'll go and catch myself a little nap.
You handled that exactly right, comrade.
Yeah, but I didn't notice him sharing any secrets with me.
Well, give him time. He'll crack. We're going to give him a double dose and keep on dosing him. He'll either talk or go out of his mind.
There must be some way to get word to the FBI. Not only to keep the comrades from getting their information, but to stop them from torturing Randall. Think, Philbrick, think. This might do it. The one thing you can throw far enough from the building so the comrades aren't liable to find it. Call FBI. 4872 at 341 Decker.
Decker is a rest home. It's under the name of Monroe Griffin.
What about this Monroe Griffin?
No known record.
Is there anything illegal in this rest home setup?
No, there's nothing so far.
We got to get in there as fast as possible. Mr. Randall. Mr. Randall. How do you feel?
Oh, it's the same thing. That headache. I was asleep and quiet. Oh, it's horrible. Monroe, I can't stand this pain.
Why don't we call an ambulance and take you to the hospital?
Oh, no. Will you ask Mr. Philbrick to come in here, please?
Suppose we go into Philbrick's room. It might do you good to move around a bit.
Oh, right.
Mr. Randall's had another attack. He asked for you, so I brought him in here. Mr. Randall, sit down. Perhaps if you talk with Mr. Randall for a while, it might help him forget the pain.
Sure. Help him forget the pain, Philbrick. When he tells them what they want to know, he'll feel better. And keep on feeling better until they want some more information, and he'll never know the communists are mixed up in it. All you can do is stall, Philbrick. Stall and hope that someone has picked up that poker chip. Here, Mr. Randall. I wish there was something I could do for you.
Well, maybe there is. You were saying before that by telling things, secrets that you were entrusted with, that you were able to relieve the pressure on your head.
That's right.
Do you think the same thing would help me?
Well, I don't know, Mr. Randall. It cured me, but I doubt if it would cure you. You see, in my case, the pressures that were causing the headache were psychological. Your headaches may come from an entirely different cause.
I've tried everything, Mr. Philbrick, but outside of my visits to this place, nothing has helped. You're a reputable businessman, Mr. Philbrick, and I feel that anything that I might say would be held in strictest confidence by you. If you don't mind, I'd like to try it.
All right, Mr. Randall. Suppose you go way back and start at the beginning.
Seems to me Philbrick is stalling. Why go back to the beginning when all we want is present facts?
Philbrick is trying to lead him into it naturally. That's a way to handle it.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Randall.
Yeah, see what I mean?
I'm trying to get my thoughts together. The pain.
Mr. Randall. Mr. Randall. Mr. Randall.
What happened?
I don't know. We were talking, and all of a sudden he fell out of the chair.
He's passed out. This is all your fault. I told you that last dose was too heavy.
Bring him out of it.
That's easier said than done.
Well, let's get him on the bed.
Yeah.
Yes?
Are you Monroe Griffin?
Yes, I am.
We're from the health department making a routine inspection.
Well, this is a bad time. Suppose we make an appointment.
I'm sorry, inspections are not made by appointment.
Well, one of our patients really shouldn't be disturbed.
We have no intention of disturbing your patients. May we come in?
Well, couldn't you come back at a more convenient time?
Is there something here you don't want us to see?
Well, of course not. Come in. This way, gentlemen. I'll show you this room here. They're all the same.
Somebody, do something, please.
Come on, Mr. Randall. You've fought the pain this long. Why don't you try to fight it just a little longer?
Is this a patient who shouldn't be disturbed?
Well, yes, you see, this is a mental case.
It's a mental case with radical physical symptoms, high fever and rapid pulse. Are you licensed to bed mental patients?
Yes, I am.
Are you a physician?
No.
Well, who is the prescribing physician?
Well, this case didn't appear to need a physician.
Certainly appears to need something. If there's no physician, let me talk with the nurse.
Well, our nurse is out at the moment.
I see. May I use your phone?
Yes.
Where is it?
This way.
Is this your room? Yeah. What's he doing in here? Well, we were chatting, you see, and suddenly he just collapsed, apparently from the pain. I see.
Get me the county hospital.
What are you going to do?
I'm declaring a summary abatement on this institution and ordering your patients removed to the county hospital.
But you can't do that. I've met every legal requirement. I've broken no law.
Except the law which requires either a practicing physician or a registered nurse in the case of a bedded mental patient. Hello? This is Health Inspector Martin. Send an ambulance to 341 Decker Street. Right away.
Sorry we had to scoot you out of the rest home without your clothes. We wanted to make it look good.
Brother, you sure did. Hand me my shirt, will you?
I talked to your nurse. She said you're going to live.
Not long, unless I get something to eat in a hurry. How'd you make out?
Fine. Maybe the first time in the history of the Commerce, they recorded their own dirty work for the edification of the FBI.
How do you mean?
They went out of the room and left their machine running. So we have a fine recording of the whole scene, from the time you started talking with Randall until the inspector and Mike came into the building. It gave us a reason for arresting Monroe.
How'd my voice sound on the recording?
Excellent. We got a break.
What's that?
You weren't mentioned by name once. We're going to call you the mystery voice.
What about Phyllis?
She's in the clink. We shot a quick stakeout over to Randall's office. He picked up Phyllis just as she was rushing in to do away with a bottle of pain maker.
Hmm. Did you find some more pain maker in the rest home?
Yes, it's in the lab now for analysis.
I thought you would. Well, Dr. Henderson, if you don't mind, I'm now going to rush home. That is, if I still have one.
I don't mind at all.
Say, by the way, would you tell Mr. Randall that I apologize and that there was nothing personal in it?
What do you mean?
Well, he was starting to talk, and I'm afraid I had to clip him to shut him up.
Don't worry, Herb. He never knew what hit him.